Okay, this story is called The Way Out. It was a Bible project this year for me and Mariah. And it's written by me and Mariah. So we did this. It was inspired after we watched the movie The Pilgrim's Progress. And then afterwards, we were inspired to do something fun, a fun Bible project called The Way Out. So, here it is. This is a picture that Mariah, like I said, she's the illustrator, so she does this. This is the introduction to the story. I'm going to just read it. It says, once upon a time, there was a city called Negative Land. And in the city, things like creativity, imagination were forbidden. Life was hard in the city for the less fortunate. And it seemed that the gap between the rich and the poor grew and grew. Oppression had grown so much in the city that the people didn't even hope or have faith in anyone. The people became like motionless shadows, just going through the motions of day-to-day life. And in the city, there was a girl named Precocious. And when her mother gave birth to her, she looked into her eyes, and the girl's eyes had a light in them that sparkled. The mother knew her daughter was destined for great things, so she named her Precocious. As Precocious grew, so did her beauty, and the light in her eye grew brighter and brighter. And unlike the people in her city, Negative Land, she was very much into imagination and learning and reading. But in her city, children were forbidden to learn and read. In fact, not just children were forbidden from learning and reading, so were adults. People were expected to work, and if they were caught reading and doing anything that involved creativity and imagination, the wagers were called. Now, the wagers were the patrol men and women of the city who worked for the highest authority in the land, and his name was Gregory Dethick. Mr. Dethick was a ruthless and merciless man. When the wagers caught someone in the city breaking the law at the full limit, the individuals would be brought before Mr. Dethick in a court of law. Every individual who went before Mr. Dethick for the past 1,500 years, would be sentenced to jail, sentence in which they would never get out or have a hope to get out. There were many laws in the land, and people were expected to follow them, all or face the wagers. These laws were posted all over the city. Each citizen of the city was given a law badge. They were required to wear this badge all the time, especially in public. Those caught in public without this badge were immediately taken into court and sentenced to jail indefinitely. Therefore, people did not leave home without their law badge. Even children were required to wear them and could face court indefinite jail if they were not worn. When people would go into work daily, badges were scanned. The scanning process was to check if an individual broke the law or not. If an individual did, this would show up once the badge was scanned. Once an individual broke the law a certain number of times, a received amount acidic from the scanner. This individual will be taken into custody immediately with an almost certainty of never returning home to their family again. Now, the wagers also patrolled the city just like police patrol a city. Their job would be to search for individuals breaking the law. They could pull people over and check their law badge and even check people just walking down the street. People could be checked in grocery stores and at the post office and anywhere at any time. Because of this, the people of the city lived in constant fear. People were very, very careful to follow the laws of the land, and no one dared to imagine or read or be creative. And these things were just out of the question. And time after time, when someone dared do these things, the wagers would come and take these individuals away, never to return again. And no one wanted to be taken away for such things that they did not want to do any of this, and were very strict in teaching their children not to hope, wish, or even dream of using their imagination. No learning, no reading, and no imagination. The city grew dark and dark. Checkpoints, work, and careful consideration of each step.